me up until 12 midday. Good morning to you wherever you are. It's the sound of Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band. And I want to say a special good morning and welcome to those of you that's joining us via television. Yes, that's on GBN's Channel 7 and Channel 11, Channel 20 if you're in cable. You're also joining us via the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd, or you chime in via our Facebook page or the YouTube channel. Welcome to the televised edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz, an extended special Friday edition to you. It is the 28th day of the month of May, and May is just a matter of history. And this morning, my first guest this morning is Mr. Robert Bristol, and this morning we'll be talking about pest control, pest management. How do you deal with some of those little critters, those little annoyances and nuances that pops up, whether it's in your pillars or your roof, whatever it is, that puts you into a bit of a frenzy, and they never seem to go away, Mr. Bristol. The reality is it's when somebody says to you that you're becoming a pest or you are a pest. Normally they mean it, they soft on it, but it's not necessarily intended to be a compliment, is it?
No, it's not.
Let's talk about pest management in the home, and what are some of the everyday challenges that homeowners and business persons would have to deal with in terms of the everyday pests and other elements that resides within your home that are not welcome?
Well, pests in the home is a very common problem, not only in Grenada but throughout the world. We live in a tropical area, so certain pests may thrive better, and the survival mechanisms that they may have to develop in the US, for instance, because of the snow. We don't have that situation in the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. So homeowners can see a variety of pests on day to day. They can see cockroaches. In the rainy season, they might see the centipedes starting to come inside, and the scorpions, the rodents, which is a very big thing, rats, mice, the subterranean termites, the drywood termites, the bats. It's a very big one. And unknown to a lot of people, the health factors or the health issues that these pests could bring, that just need to be highlighted a little bit more, especially the bats, like the bat feces. There's bats in your roof, and from that feces there is something called the histoplasmosis fungus. So there's actually a fungus that grows in the feces that gets airborne and gives you flu-like symptoms. And if you're a person that suffers with asthma, it's never a good idea to have bats in your roof. So it's always wise to do whatever is within your power, within your reach, to see how fast you can eradicate these types of problems. The cockroaches, and even on rare cases, they are known to spread sexually transmitted diseases. So that's something that a lot of people don't know. But these pests come with a diverse number of problems. For your children, the cockroaches might play on their food, not even their food, on their toys, right? You have a child in the home, leaves this toy there, there's cockroaches playing in that. Next, it's in his or her mouth. They come down with symptoms, they come down with problems, and sometimes we rule it off as a common cold. Sometimes we rule it off as, okay, that is a child, they're supposed to have these problems. Right. But many times, we create these types of environments by not seeing how serious pests could be, and how much of a danger they could be to our daily lives.
So it becomes incumbent upon us as homeowners, business people, that we control that environment in which we live.
Definitely.
But the challenge, though, Bristol, is very often a lot of these pests we don't see them.
Right. So because of that very clear problem, right? There is structured services that we offer, yearly inspections twice a year, because there's just people trained to see certain things. There's people trained to look for certain things. What I may be looking for when I'm doing a pest inspection, you may not be looking for the same thing as a homeowner. Mm-hmm. So that's where we come in as professionals to lend a helping hand, at reasonable prices, that homeowners could not only know that they have pests to get rid of, but knowing that there is a solution, right? So we give you a package. We do the inspections, we do the treatment, and we talk a lot about preventions. What are the things that homeowners can do to prevent them from having problems? Mm-hmm. The rodents. Many times we say, okay, we have rodents, but then we have piles of bushes around our houses. We have wood stored or material stored in our houses. And those create something called harbouraging areas. Those are the areas where the rodents will go and live and make their young ones and so on. So we normally advise clients or potential customers, get rid of that first. Because no amount of poison is going to solve that problem. The first set of rodents die out, but the home is still there, the habitat is still there, a new set is going to come. So prevention, that is where we start, and then anything after that works. But if there is no prevention, just like you're building a new house, the termites is a very, very big thing in Grenada. Treating your foundation, treating your roof, even treating all the wooden materials that you put inside of your house. Because the termites are very aggressive. They can get into your furniture, they can get into your couches, they get into your new kitchen that costs so much money. And it's a really heartbreaking thing to spend so much on an investment like your house. And you can't be comfortable for 3 years.
Let's break it down for individuals, because I could easily see as some people saying, these boys are just out to make a quick buck off of me.
Right.
That's not going to happen to me. That's not my issues. And there's always somebody else's problem that pest becomes a challenge. Let's talk termites and how that can affect your quality of living and literally put you in.
Right. So let's do statistics, because we based everything we see on statistics. In the US, in the world at large, it's proven that a termite colony, which can comprise of hundreds of thousands of termites, can eat a home within 2 years, a complete home, or the wooden structure of a home within 2 years. So that is your kitchen, your cupboard, your closet, your roof, so on and so forth, right? Now, everybody may like to think that will never be me. I will never have that problem. We as a company has even went as far as, we say, you know what, instead of just doing a treatment for you, we give you a guarantee that the treatment is going to work.
Okay.
So when we do a roof treatment for you, you get up to 5 years warranty. So we are responsible for your roof for 5 years. We do a foundation treatment, let's say around your pillars or your foundation. If you build a flat house, you get 2 years warranty. We are responsible for your foundation, for your house for 2 whole years. We treat the wooden materials you put in your house. We give you a guarantee. So if termites eat what we say the termites can't eat because of the treatment, then you hold us accountable, and everything is documented. So this is not word of mouth where we tell you this. Your quotations are signed, your warranties are signed, so you have something to hold us to. Right?
That is legally binding.
That is legally binding. So we are binded to this agreement where we are responsible for what we promise. And we've been doing this for a number of years, and we've noticed that there's a trend developing where people are going more into prevention. And for the years we've been in business, a lot of people have said, this is a very good decision I've made, because look, my neighbor have a problem and I don't have one, and we build a house at the same time. Our house is almost the same age, right? So this is what we're trying to bring to the public, sensitize the public on the seriousness of doing prevention. For instance, we even went as far as we have a public liability insurance, that if at your project, let's say through negligence, a ladder fall on your car, we are responsible.
Right.
We do the treatment and we didn't let you know. You come inside and you slip on your fall because the ground is wet. We are responsible through our public liability insurance, right? And it's the same thing as everybody will think I don't need an insurance on my car, but when you're bunks, it's a whole different story.
That's a different conversation. One of the arguments you hear persons, well, not necessarily an argument, a concern, which is a reasonable concern, is the chemicals that is used and its potential health risk.
Right.
Is there any truth to that concern? And if so, how do you deal with it in the industry?
Right. So, as an industry, we follow all the guidelines of the Ministry of Agriculture. Right. No chemical can come into Grenada without we getting a license or permit to bring it in. And as a company, we've made sure that the chemicals that we use in certain scenarios are environmentally friendly.
Right.
And it's safe for humans, right? Now, realistically, there is just certain chemicals, if you're looking for a higher residual component, you would not get it as friendly as if you're just looking to spray some flies or to deal with some flies. Because termites, for instance, you need something that's residual. Because if you spray termites today or you treat an area for termites today and you see termites tomorrow, you're not going to think that, hey, the guys did their best. No, you're going to think that the chemical is not working. Right. So from a company perspective, we need to do things that make sense. that is beneficial to both the client and both to the environment, and also to the environment. But it has to make sense on both ends, because you don't want to offer a service that doesn't work, right? So we maintain all the standards. We use the chemicals that is safe, that is friendly, and we also have disclaimers and guidelines for customers that you have to be out of the house for a certain amount of time while we administer the chemical, because there is a re-entry period. Just like in field pests, there is a period where they say, listen, you cannot use this crop before this amount of days, so it's better to spray 10 days before harvesting period, right? So we apply the same thing when we're doing pest control for houses.
Do you get the sense that a lot of people have pushed back towards the whole conversation of pest control, pest management, because of lack of knowledge?
Yes, I think one of the biggest factors at play is lack of knowledge. So that's why we make these types of sacrifices, even through our social media platforms on Facebook, Bristol's Pest, Instagram. We try to sensitize the public as much as we can. And a lot of our campaigns is honestly to sensitize the public, to let people understand that, hey, you might read something on the internet, but there is another side to it, right? Someone might say something, oh, this is my experience, but what about the other side? Because you might hear somebody else that say it's perfectly fine, right? So it varies from experience to experience, but it also comes down to what the people know. And I cannot blame them if they don't know. I believe that we have a responsibility as pest control operators to let the people know what we are using. We practice transparency across the board. So you come to me, you want something done. Hey Bristol, what are we going to use? What is the product you're going to use? We disclose that to you. There is no secret, because that's your health. You have to make a conscious, sober decision whether or not you want this product to be used or not.
Right.
Yes.
And as you said, all of the products that you use, they're industry approved.
Yes, environmentally friendly also. So we also use organic chemicals, right? Now, the difference between organic and inorganic chemicals, for instance, is the time span and effectiveness, right? Now, you have a cockroach infestation. You don't want that to take 3 weeks. You want that to be removed ASAP. For instance, you have a restaurant. A customer make a complaint last night, oh, a cockroach run up on a dress. You call in pest control. Would you like for me to tell you it's going to take 3 weeks before the cockroaches die? We know, so I'm saying from our end, it's a bit challenging. So we have to try to see how we could please everybody by offering different options. But not every option is suitable for certain situations.
Kadesh, there may be other prevailing conditions.
Exactly.
Okay, because I know you did talk about, let's say for instance, if you're probably a newly completed home you've done, but downstairs you have this pile of leftover bamboo just sitting there.
Termite food. You have all the termite food downstairs.
You provided a perfect feasting ground for the termites.
Exactly my point. And then you have those termites when they colonize. We normally call it a rainfly, common name in Grenada. Those are swarmers. Those are actually part of the termite colonies, responsible for starting new colonies. So when it rainfall, you might see those little bugs walking around and they look like ants. Right. Those are termites. So when they're wandering in your house, it's not that they don't know where they're going. They're looking for wood. They might go into your couch, and then 3 months after, you see that yeast-looking material start to fall from your couch. That's termite feces. So that they drop their wings, they chew into the wood, and they're going to stay there because they're about to start a new colony in your couch. So they don't have to go back outside.
We're not making joke of no rainfly again.
Exactly.
Yeah, me and rainfly, we're not no friend again. I mean, and this is a very interesting conversation, but you're saying it is important that people be proactive.
Definitely. And
answer prevention is
way better than cure. Proactive and not reactive. Because it could save you a ton of headache. It saves you a ton of time. And, I mean, who doesn't like peace of mind?
Let's talk about the inconvenience.
Right.
So I noticed for some reason in the night I hear these little chirping songs. I'm wondering what's in my roof, and I determine it is bats.
Right.
Let's talk about the bats, because I know it is a common one in Grenada.
Very common.
It's a very common one in Grenada.
Yes.
How should that conversation as a family start in terms of dealing with
bats?
With bats.
Right. I think that it goes down again to education, because you can't start a conversation you know nothing about. If mommy is okay with it, daddy's okay with it, who am I to say something? But if I went on Facebook and I saw this program and I said, Dad, listen to this. This is what I was trying to say for the last month or so. These things are dangerous. So, while a conversation has to be started, it takes us to give you the opportunity to start that conversation.
Right.
Right? So, it comes from a standpoint of these are the dangers, these are the pros, these are the cons. What do we want? Do we want peace of mind? Do we want to know that there is always some dust falling on our bed, which is the bad feces, those little fine particles, because they pass between where the ply is joined. Every time the ply is joined, the bad feces get so fine that they fall down there.
Okay.
And you have to survive in that environment. And the most dangerous thing about these things is what you're not seeing. They get airborne. So you're in an environment where there is these particles in the air, you breathing that in, gets into your lungs, you start to have asthma attacks, your respiratory system starts failing, and you might be blaming it on something else.
And keeping in mind that is home. That's not somewhere you're passing for the weekend.
That's home.
So you live there, that's where you're going to be until.
Definitely. You're always in that environment.
Right.
So just imagine you're going to be going through that process for years. Eventually something will happen. Hence the reason we said prevention is better than cure. You see it, say something about it. At least request a quote. Request a quotation. How can we get rid of this? What can we do? Can we seal up? What can we do? And I believe we are fair enough. Sometimes we just give you information to help you in your situation. We know that we're in COVID and things is not normal.
Right.
So we try to facilitate everyone and try to see how we could help everybody. Right? But it is really upon us. As I said, we take that responsibility to sensitize the public.
Especially when it comes to bats, you see people would employ different strategies.
Yes.
Plastic bags,
CDs.
shiny CDs, these shiny objects, and some seem to work, some may or may not work, maybe work for a time, then they come back. But as part of the service, do you offer an exploratory service where I just need to find out what is happening, what are the options? Can I call Bristol Pest Control and say, listen, I notice there's bats, there's a presence of bats. I'm not sure what's going on. I need you guys to find that for me. Do you?
Right. So what we do, we offer inspections, right? Since after COVID, we've been trying to be as reasonable as we can with the cost of our inspections. In some cases, it's free. Some cases, we charge a small fee because obviously we have to go out. We will.
But when you say, so an average, let's say an average size house, an average house,
right.
3-bedroom dwelling house.
Right.
Let's say an inspection of that.
Sometimes $80.
Okay.
120, 150.
Right. Okay.
According to the distance,
right.
the terrain and so on.
Okay.
But the main thing is to get information for you. So after that is done, we give you a report. Hey, this is what it is, and these are the solutions, potential solutions. We could use this method. We could use this method. You can choose either one of these methods, and let's solve this problem. Right now, if you say, "Boy, I want to do something for myself. I want to try something for myself," we will give you our honest recommendations, our opinion on it. And if it's something I know that we've seen for the past couple of years doesn't work, I'll let you know, listen, that's what we think, but you're still okay to try.
The disc and the camphorated, the other kind of mud balls you put up in it.
Right.
What would you advise?
The CDs, to me, it comes down to the individuals, and in our opinion, it makes your house look a bit different, having those CDs hanging. And we've proven that doesn't really work. It might work in some instances because pests are very technical. What might affect some pests, some bats in Grandans, you go to Granitang and it doesn't affect them at all. What might affect some pests in St. John's, you go to St. Patrick's and it's a whole different story. So if a customer wants to try, sometimes we just let them, hey, go ahead, try. See if it works.
It wouldn't hurt though, Bristol, because once you start getting those telltale signs, you've seen the droplets on the walls, you've seen those sort of things, the pieces of fruit particles,
right?
Especially you go to clean your veranda down, right. You wake up in the morning and you realize, well, wasn't there, what happened overnight? So it means that process, that cycle literally starts when you go to sleep, because they are nocturnal creatures.
Right.
So you go to sleep and they set to work.
They're working, right? And that's what makes it even more dangerous, right? Just imagine those droppings falling on the side of the house. You have children, they go outside. The same fungus I told you about, it gets airborne outside too, because the child doesn't know that's danger. They want to pick up a little nut to throw it. That's actually something the bats had, yeah? They go outside, take this little nut from the palm tree, playing with it. And that's something that the bat was eating, contaminated with pee and feces. Just imagine that. So we're trying to let people know that prevention, we go back to prevention, is always better than cure.
Prevention indeed is always better than cure. Somebody's out there, and it's a conversation that I know we just touched the iceberg on, the tip of the iceberg, but they're probably thinking, how can I get in contact with you?
Right. We have various social media platforms. We have the Instagram, it's Bristol's Pest. We Facebook, Bristol's Pest. Our contact numbers are 443-3532 and 403-3532. So you can WhatsApp if you don't, feel to call. You can WhatsApp, send us a message. You send us a message on Facebook and Instagram, and there is someone there every day to respond. You will definitely get a response from us. We try to make sure our response time is, very reasonable, because people have emergencies, right? And we always try to make sure that they can reach out to us.
People have emergencies. Make this an emergency. It is your home, and I don't think any one of us would ever feel any way comfortable to knowing that there's an uninvited guest. Well, no, it won't be a guest.
An uninvited pest.
An uninvited pest in this case, that's roaming around your house, and especially when you're asleep.
Definitely.
That's when they're up.
Yeah.
That is kind of scary, you know. You don't mind if you have somebody in your house when you're up, they're up. But imagine when you go to sleep, that's when they decide, no. Sure. They start scurrying around. You wake up in the middle of the night, just you switch on the lights, and all of a sudden,
all man scatter.
All man scatter. That's a scary sight. Bristol, is a conversation that, of course, what you said is about starting the conversation.
Definitely.
Bristol, where are you located?
We are located now in Wester Hall, St. David's, but we are in the process of relocating to Woodlands. That's where we'll be doing our farm shop. So we'll have a lot of things on the way for farmers, a lot of amazing opportunities for farmers as we just started our farm support program. So there's a lot of amazing things that people will be hearing in the next coming months of what we are doing, farm and pet shop, to give people the opportunity to options, So we have a lot of amazing things on the way.
A lot of amazing things that's on the way. Robert Bristol, and from Bristol's Pest Control and Management Services, and certainly folks, give them a call. Find out what are the options that are available to you. Talk about options. We headed into the 2021 Hurricane Atlantic season, and we start the preparatory process, the cleaning of the guttering, what needs to be done, what does not need to be done. Of course, we have an expert in the industry that is here to talk about that. He's here to talk about that. He's been attached to NAWASA for the last 12 years. Plumbing is in his vein. He's an expert at what he does, Vorn. So he's going to be here to talk about that. But Bristol, it was a pleasure being here with you.
It was a pleasure,
bro.
Thank
Certainly,
you.
folks, you homeowners, give them a call. Find out. Keep yourself in the know and keep yourself informed, and make sure that your dwelling space is as safe and as comfortable as you want it to be. Have a great one. In the meantime, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back.
One day I woke up and they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. Nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu.
Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
'Some of the do's and don'ts. What do you do to get yourself ready? Good morning and welcome back to our viewers. That's on GBN's Channel 7, Channel 20. What's wrong with me? Channel 7 and 11, Channel 20. If you are in cable, welcome back to the Mid-Morning Buzz. My guest this morning, and he's representing VJ's Plumbing. Vorn John. Vorn, who doesn't know Vorn? Who doesn't know Vorn? Put up your hand. Who doesn't know hand? Nobody's hand. There's no hands being raised today, Vorn. Vorn, you are a household name. I think everybody knows John Vorn. But Vorn, this morning we want to talk about prepping for the rainy season. We also want to talk about solar panels, guttering, septic tanks, and all those things that we tend not to think about until one day we wake up and realize, oh my gosh, I need to fix this. Who do I find? Or I go home and I realize, gee, water's flowing here, water's flowing there. Good morning, comrade. How are you?
Morning, sir.
Why you come here want to play all shy and bashful and all of that?
Well, first I want to thank GBN for having me, and I want to thank God that, we are, and thank all the listeners, Greater Carriacou and Pitimatnik. We have to prepare. We have to prepare. I think one of the things we don't do is check to see what's going on with our things that we set up, especially at the homes.
Right.
You understand? First, the solar panel on the roof. That's one of the things that is very important because that's where we get hot water from. You understand? And if we don't have hot water, when you come home from work, all we want to be is to make.
So you certainly one of those that's into the transition, going green.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. As you speak about that, on the flip side, my son had a project in school where they do a volcano project, and I put the volcano, helping him put a volcano by sleeping volcano. And we put a lot of green trees around it. Next thing the trees start growing. So I love to be going green. But back to the solar panels. One of the things that the customer installed, or the plumber installed the solar panel, and it just laying on the roof. Nobody checked it after to see what's wrong. And that's where we come in. We come and we do a free check for you to see if the non-return valve is good, the pressure reducing valve is good, to make sure that one of the things that's happen is that most of the time if the non-return valve is not good, the tank will explode. You understand? With the water pressure and the debris going into it. That's one. And the guttering, one of the things, the guttering always need cleaning.
Do you think about that? That's something that people, they probably will be listening and saying to themselves, clean my guttering? Like, seriously? Why is it important, though?
Well, if you live in Carriacou, it's very important because most of the people use rainwater already. It's only in the town that knows to have water coming from the sea, from the desal plant.
Right.
Grenada now, we think that because we NOASA is serving them water, that they don't, most of the time don't want to use the water. Otherwise, people use it by filling the tank from the roof. And that's where the guttering coming to be clean.
Right.
We have everything flying through the wind, that we can't see. We have the birds coming and take water, and after the birds poop. So most of the time I see in my experience for over the years. Then we have the leaves flying into it. You understand? Every debris that's going to guttering all depends on what you have to, what you put a strainer in it, that you won't get into the water. But you still have to clean your guttering. It also make up something like lally in the guttering.
Right.
It all depends how, if the person who run it, like the builder who did the job, if he do a good grade, then the water settle. And I see that mostly with all my experience going on the roof to see the solar panel.
So with this algae, is the buildup of the algae, the collection of dirt over the period of time, it certainly after a while it starts to create erosion on the face board and all of those different sort of things, which at some point in time it's going to create a need for concern anyway.
Yes, and then it costs the customer a lot of money to fix it to repair it after.
Right.
So you have to keep checking, calling a professional that they come and check to see, you understand, what your guttering, your roof. And one of the things I see a lot of builders is doing, or owner of houses is doing these days, is that the electric panel, they're covering the whole roof with it. We're in a tropical island, and we get storm every now and then. So I hope that they're really looking to try and ensure that solar, because sometimes it's just the roof alone you insure, but you didn't insure the solar. So when it blow off now, and then they put in more weight on the roof again, all depends on when with the storms and coming.
You have 12 years of service under your belt with NASA, but it almost seems that you've been doing this since John Brown was a baby?
I actually supposed to be in NASA since when I 95, but I left for a little while, and then I come back, and when I come back, I thank God that God still gives me the job in NASA. But speaking about NASA, they actually, the water that they send into the buildings, they're actually doing a very great job by having the water to be clean, in a lot of places. That's why you see we don't get much problem or much sick or so, because those guys in the lab do a very good job.
I must probably pass and say hi to David more often. And say, guys, thank you.
David is a good guy.
And the rest of
Sean,
you are. Septic tanks.
Yes.
We don't ever think about them until we get into a crisis situation. Managing, maintaining your septic system. Let's talk about that. How important is it as a homeowner, business person?
Septic tank is dangerous.
Dangerous, you say?
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
In what way?
The reason why I'm saying it's dangerous is because it have gas in it from the fishy. You have there's cockroaches, there is centipedes, and one of the key insect what live in septic tank is mosquito. If it have a crack, and mosquito, you don't have to have a 1-inch crack.
Well, you see the size.
Just this. Most of the time I go to somebody called me and told me that the septic tank is blocked up. Most of the time it does not be the septic tank, it does be the sucker what is blocked up. But the backup does come and fall back up to the septic tank. And when I open it, I get a lot of debris from the top of it. You understand? All different kind of things. Toilet. Most of it is toilet paper. Most of it is pads, poo. You understand? And the reason why I say that is because how the design, most of us design these septic tanks, we put a cover right over it, and there's no breathing space, and it needs breathing space.
Right.
You understand? But most of the time when you're calling for your septic tank, most of the time it'll be the sucker, not the septic tank.
While you're at that door, let's talk about some do's and don'ts. Because you're talking about when you go to a client, you make a client visit, and then you're realizing they may say it's the septic tank, but it's a suckaway. But you're noticing that what's happening, it's a lot of times it's elements or things that's been thrown into the septic tank. Toilet paper or whatever else, or the sanitary devices and all of that. Let's talk about some basic do's and don'ts. What should you do and not do? And especially in the context of your septic, where these days you have 1,000,001 different chemicals that buy this, put that, clean this, clean that.
Well, it's great that you bring up that point, because the do's and don'ts is mostly that you don't use bleach at all. Never use bleach to pour in your toilet.
Why not? But bleach cleaning everything?
But it also kills the bacteria what have to eat the fish.
That decomposes it.
Right. Yeah, and once that happens, no way you're going to get the suckaway. Everything will be going straight to the suckaway, because the bacteria cannot eat the fishy, and it cannot break down the toilet paper. So
right.
Once it can break down, it gets into the suckaway. bleach. You don't use bleach. There is a chlorine tablets, a blue chlorine tablets that they put into the toilet tank. That's a no-no. You don't use that because that damages your gasket in the tanks and you also damage the valve. And it also does do, if you don't have a non-return valve into your line, with my experience with NOASA, I see once you put the bleach inside the toilet tank, it go back to the line. You understand? So it's these are the things that you just don't do at all. You don't throw pad in it, no pads. All you do is light toilet paper, so you can dissolve when you go to the tank. And 50% of grader we use septic tanks. Only in the south, mostly, and St. George's, we use sewer. You understand? So it's a challenge for a lot of people to come when they call the chop. They pay the chop $1,200 or $1,300 to come and empty the tank, and then it's not the tank what is the problem. Also the sucker, and the chop don't do the sucker.
So that's literally money wasted.
That's money wasted. Most of the time I go into them, I say, before you call a chuck, call me first.
So you would go and do an evaluation.
Yes.
An assessment as to what exactly is the problem.
Yes, I will do that.
So that $200 that they find it easier to pay the 200.
Well, it's free.
It's free.
Yeah. When I go to do most of the time I don't charge the customer.
Free, Vorn?
Yeah, it's free.
Is there anything free in Papa God world?
But you see, something always happen.
Right.
Especially in my field, they always have a problem. So it did not come back into the. I don't have nobody, but it's free to check to see, make sure that I give the customer honest,
We're keeping our eyes on the clock. It is 8 minutes on to. We're speaking with Vorn John from VJ's Plumbing, and very interesting conversation. We started talking about getting preparation for the rainy season, and the need to manage and maintain your guttering system. We just talked about some of the do's and don'ts. No bleach at all.
No bleach
into your toilet system. That is a no-no.
Yeah, that's
and for disposal purposes, just like the use of toilet papers. Nothing beyond that.
Yeah. Nothing beyond that. You see, they have the bacteria in town. You put the yeast in a septic tank, and the yeast develop the bacteria very, very fast, and let the bacteria do its work. I was by a gentleman who called me to come and just check his septic tank to see if everything is good.
Right.
We have it over 20 years, and all he do is he put yeast in it, and he don't use no bleach in the septic tank, and he have a family living there. So we have to always. One of the things that we don't do in Grader is check to see. Call in a professional. Every 2 years. You could every 2 years is good for a septic tank. You understand? The soda on the roof every 6 months, because there's fittings on the roof when it's changing. You understand, from the solar. Especially the water tanks, you check it almost every year and a half to see if you need cleaning. You understand? So that is one of the things we do. And when we end up in a problem, then we call in the professional and we charge him a ham and a leg.
Charging you a ham and a leg. You suggested that it's good that people get into the culture of doing periodic checks, know exactly what's happening. Yeah. Check your septic tank. Rainy season is coming up, though. We talked about the guttering, but what else? What kind of sort of tips you can offer to homeowners, or just basic plumbing tips you can offer around the house?
Well, rainy season is coming up, and it's good to have more than one tanks. Because after rainy season is dry season. Okay. You understand? And it's good to go and check your guttering to make sure that it stand up strong, because you never know the load of water will be coming from your roof to the guttering. And make sure that your tanks is clean. That's very important, because when the water comes from the roof and you go into the guttering, if you have debris in the bottom of it, it's gonna also pitch up the debris in the water and create dirty water going into your tank. Now, mixing NOASA water and the guttering water, sometimes we get called and stating that the NOASA water is dirty. And sometimes when the rain comes and it mix up the water in the tank, and we take water to do a repair, They open the tank, dirty water come. This is what is happening. That's the reason why keep on checking your water tank, because water is life, eh? We cannot do it with water. You understand? So we have to keep on checking.
What do you advise though? Because I mean, the persons you want to find ways to economize on your livelihood. So in terms of persons who let's say they have a rainwater harvesting or catchment system, and yet they're connected to NAWASA's system, what do you suggest? That both systems should be intertwined, or they should be managed independently?
It's very hard to manage independently because of costing. One of the things that we could do is use valves and separate the difference of it. And I always encourage my customers and them to get a filter. Yeah, most of the entities in Grenada right now is selling filters.
Right.
You understand? You have filter work with strip chlorine, you have filter work with whole debris, all different kind of filter you have. If you're going to M&M or Hubbard's, any one of these guys, and then you understand, they give you good advice to put a filter before you get into the home of the customer.
You did offer some excellent advice regarding preparation for the dry season, I mean rainy season, and I like how you said, when rainy season, get your tanks. And people are probably thinking, well, why do I need to get my tank now if I'm in the rainy season? Well, at least you can put some water in it. But in terms of managing it, because you said, of course, it is difficult to have them run independently. So you talk about valve regulations and all the valve control and all of that. But in terms of maintaining, you have a couple of tanks. Let's talk about maintaining it, cleaning. Is that a service that you offer?
Yes.
How often should one consider, let's say, cleaning of the tanks and all those sort of things?
We give the tank a year and a half to be cleaned, to check, and if you need cleaning, we clean it. I think one of the things that people should do is check it every year and a half, or call in or if you have a plumber, call the plumber in, because most of the time, when you go and check it for yourself, sometimes the fitting is worn out because it's PVC. PVC could take heat to a certain amount of degree. You understand? So it's best that you call a plumber if you have a plumber. If you don't have one, you could call we, and we come in and check it for you to make sure that everything is clean inside it and everything is good.
You're saying we as though you're a French man, I'm assuming VJ's Plumbing. How can we find you though? Everybody sees Vorn all over the place.
Well,
but what sort of services do you offer outside of the what we've spoken about today though?
We offer the solar on the roof. We offer the cleaning of the tanks. And
the solar in terms of its installation.
Yes.
So the person would purchase the unit, but you'd offer the installation.
Buy the unit and we'll do the installation.
Right.
And we offer the septic tanks, the building of septic tanks. Because speaking about the septic tanks, some plumbers come up with some ideas these days by want to just put a pipe down both places of the septic tank. And we separate septic tank with blocks. I'm not saying it's not a good idea, you understand? But it's an idea for a plumber to make money. I'm a plumber for myself, so I can say that, you understand? Because when the pipe go down into the sucker, into the septic tank, then you have debris coming from the bottom. Then you have debris on top. So you have a blockage very, very easy. You understand? So I always believe, not in the old school way, I always love to have more knowledge, you understand? But I believe that's the best way of doing septic tanks, is to separate, put a partition for it. You understand? Let the debris stay here and the clear water go into the sucker.
It's always good to have a man on board, a man that you can call. How can persons find you, Vorn?
Well, my number is 536-2796, or you can call 435-1535.
You offer 24 around-the-clock services. If I have an emergency, can I call you 2 o'clock in the morning? You're Vorn.
You could call me anytime, night or day. You call me, you will get me.
Give him a call night or day. VJ's Plumbing Services, and you offer both residential and commercial services, don't you?
Yes.
And you have a team that you work with?
I have a team. I have a team. I have about 3 guys in my team that we do works.
VJ's Plumbing, think about it if you're interested in having a solar panel installed. But would you normally make recommendations? So let's talk about solar before we run though. Do you normally offer consultation, pre-installation consultations
Very much.
before you actually get onto the job?
Yes.
In terms of what size to buy, what is needed?
It's very important because you cannot go put a tank on you do a platform with a tank and you just put a 2 inches concrete on it and next thing you see the tank. And one of the things that when you lay tanks down, you don't just lay it on a solid platform. You have to put sand under it for the reason that if there's a storm or so come, on the solid platform it just blow off, but the sand now would keep it in a way like it's moving to one side and go on to the next side.
Give them a call, VJ's Plumbing. Where's your office located though? Do you have a fixed base or you guys just mobile?
Fontenoy. We Fontenoy.
You are in Fontenoy. Give him a call, and they said you offer 24-hour services. It doesn't matter rain, sun, lightning, hail. It doesn't matter. You are there, whether it's just for basic in-house plumbing services or minor or major repairs. You guys cater for all of those.
Yes.
You do quotations and all those sort of things. Everything.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You work with the client from foundation.
From the foundation come right now. Right now we're doing one in Lansapine right now from the foundation Lansapine. 2-story building.
Talking about doing from foundation to roof, that's what it is. And for those of you that's considering more economical ways, you're probably considering going solar. Give Vorn a call. And if by chance you're not sure how to reach Vorn, what is the alternative ways of reaching you? Tell Grenada.
I think I'll call GBN. GBN will get me.
I don't know what I have to say.
No, sir.
That is the truth, you know. That is really the truth. If you're really and truly, folks, you have an emergency and you can't find Vorn. Listen, call now WhatsApp. They put you on the phone. I'll call GBN, ask for JC or Jan, and say, listen, we're looking for your boy Vorn. We have an emergency. But Jan, we wanted to let him know, and I want him to agree publicly that any reference, any calls that we take that has to be filtered through you, we take a 10% commission.
I have to say that, it's good, and I have to say, Joe, we have a beautiful country, and we have to take care of it, on the flip side of that.
You see, John, he answered the question there. He gave a political response. I asked him about the 5%. He told me about taking care of the country as though I the minister of what? I ain't asking you about that. I asking you about when John and I...
We have the 4% to give, we can't even get it. You get the 5%.
I ain't going there, Papa, but you want this 5%. You see, you want to put me in Canterbury Crossway this Friday morning. I want this 4%. I didn't ask you about that. Anyway, boys, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure coming in anytime.
Anytime, bro.
Yeah.
Peace and love to you, folks. Check out VJ's Plumbing. Remember, for whatever installations that you need, give them a call. It's about 5 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. Vorn has left me, and we're going to go and get ready to link up with my next 2 guests. They'll be joining us virtually. My girl Chriselle from inside of GDB, and then at 11:30, it's going to be Chris from the Wireman's house. Take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with you right here on Classic and GBN Television.
Things you need to know about self-isolation. Stay home. If you are told to self-isolate, it means staying at home, not going to work, school, or other public places, and you should not have any visitors. Separate yourself. If you live with others, then you need to stay in a well-ventilated bedroom with the doors shut. If you have to share a bathroom, then use it after everyone else. Don't share towels and toiletries, as this may put others at risk. Call ahead. If you develop symptoms such as a fever or cough, then seek advice first by calling the Ministry of Health's hotline at 538-4787 or 458-4787. Please please do not show up at a medical center or hospital, as this may put others at risk. Take care with waste. If you test positive, your waste should be double bagged and disposed of separately. Create a buddy system. If you live on your own, you can plan with friends and family to check in with each other and run essential errands if one becomes sick. Once sick, they should leave groceries on the doorstep. Why it's important. COVID-19 causes a mild illness for 4 out of 5 persons. Self-isolating will help protect the older generation and those who may have underlying health problems from getting infected.
There's no better way to start your day than with me on Good Morning Grenada. Good Morning Grenada is your one-stop shop. We have information, education, entertainment, your bi-weekly traffic cam, and we link up with the sister isles of Carriacou and PT Martinique. Join me every 6:35 on weekdays for Good Morning Grenada. It's your daily dose of all things Grenadian mixed with just a little bit of crazy.
Good morning, good morning.
I said just a little bit of crazy.
I tell all of the things that take me.
Good Morning Grenada, 6:35 a.m. on weekdays, available on all GBN platforms. Start your morning off right.
Stepping off the plane. It's so easy to breathe again. Life in the big city has finally took its toll. And it's been so long, but I'm finally home and what better place to rest my weary bones than on this beautiful island where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something there to remind me of my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's the sound that's everlasting. The beginning of our lives, sweet Grenada. This is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight. Just the beginning of our lives, sweet Grenada. Home, 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 sweet Grenada, yeah, this is home.
We believe this new virus spreads mostly from person to person through respiratory droplets produced when someone who is sick coughs or sneezes. This is similar to how flu and other respiratory illnesses spread. These droplets can land in the mouth or nose of people nearby, or possibly be inhaled into the lungs. Most person-to-person spread happens when people are in close contact. It's also possible that this virus can spread when someone touches a contaminated surface and then touches the mouth, nose, or eyes.
can't wait to see my granddaughter.
Stomp out careless or intentional bushfires, dead out. Youths, hunters, smokers, let's prevent bushfires. Here's why.
Yeah, bushfires. The shoreline's wet, crops should be bushfires. Can lead to food scarcity, threatened biodiversity, cause water shortage, water calamity. Bushfires, watersheds deplete, water quality, threaten property, life and security. Bushfires set intentionally, water insanity.
Bushfires can cost millions in losses annually and are often caused by careless or intentional actions indictable under the law. Forests are life-giving. Save them. A message from the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Caribbean Open Trade Support.
You don't know nothing about. That's my Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petit Martinique, 3 islands so unique. 3 different islands and 3 different parts, interested to explore. So I urge you, don't stay too long, come and see where we all belong. See for yourselves, come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves, come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves, come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Come and see for yourselves, come behold what we sell. Want a country and tell. Not just beautiful beach, all the culture that's rich. You'll enjoy your friendship. Our friendly people, to tell you our history.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number 1. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere. Well, in your case, you are a little angel. I'm a big angel. Yeah, so 2 angels. You the little angel. I am the big angel. Did I tell you I graduated from angel class 2 weeks ago? I didn't tell you.
Actually,
you are.
I'm very conscious of my audience right now.
Good morning and welcome to those if it is just joining us on television. It's always a pleasure being here with you. Chriselle here from GDB. And there's always something exciting inside of GDB. Chriselle, there's always great news. And today being the 28th day of May makes it just another day where you're offering great plans for development, great plans for expansion, taking in persons to the next level of their growth and development.
Yes, of course. And I tell you, Joe, your 2 earlier interviews kind of probably set my mind, helped me make up my mind to what it is we're going to talk about today, because I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. My mind is not working to its fullest extent.
Right.
But I listened to the gentleman talking about the pest in your home and whatnot.
Bristol.
And then I listened to my past co-worker, my very good friend Vorn. Talking about plumbing at home and renewable energy and whatnot. And I said, that is right up the alley with our home mortgage loan and our renewable energy and energy efficiency loan. So I think you made up my mind for me, along with your previous yes.
Well, you're welcome.
I just really want to take the time to remind listeners and viewers that we offer renewable energy and energy efficiency loans at the GDB. Everything that Vorn spoke about a while ago, if you were listening, they're available at our institution. And our mortgage loan, it encompasses purchase of a dwelling house, purchase of land, renovation, and construction of a dwelling house. If it is that you're looking to get into that, you're looking to own your own home, if you're looking to get into renewable energy and energy efficiency, even though the water tank that was mentioned earlier, all of these things are available from us for you as Grenadians for your development.
Well, let's talk about that, because I said it's a nice way to segue into it. Because if the first, we were talking about Mr.
Bristol
from Bristol's Pest Management Control, and we were talking about being proactive, and that's one of the things that what GDB it prides itself on, taking that proactive developmental step in people's lives. So there is the loans available, of course, for those who want to do. You want to do you're going green renewable energy, and we've spoken about that already. Give us some more information on that. Somebody's outside, they're thinking, you know what, I want to do some solar panel installation. I heard GDB's offering loans. How can I take advantage of it?
Okay, so that renewable energy and energy efficiency loan, they're being offered to residential as well as commercial buildings. If you own a business and you want to get into that kind of thing, renewable energy and energy efficiency, you can do that. If you own your home or if you're building, that is also a possibility, because you can institute and adapt to all these things during your construction phase, as well as if the house is already built, then you can go ahead and do that just the same. So you can apply for the loan. Let us know what it is you're thinking about. Are you thinking renewable energy? That's energy that renews itself, basically. So we're looking at solar, which is most popular here. We've got wind as an option, the windmill and whatnot, but it's not quite as popular in Grenada.
That's solar.
So mostly we're looking at solar. Or you can look at energy efficiency. So energy efficiency is using the least amount of energy possible but getting the same result. So we're not speaking about sitting in the dark
right.
because you do not want, exactly. We're speaking about still having the lights on but just using less energy. Yes, so we're thinking no transformers, or maybe a smaller transformer if you need a transformer. We're thinking changing of the bulbs. We're thinking room insulation. Yes, all these things. And I remember I heard, I think I heard, there was mention of the hurricane season coming up. Yes. So if you're looking at that, which is also adaptation and mitigation, you can go as far as window shutters, door shutters. Some people have installed those window shutters that's automatic. You click and there is a shutter that comes down and protect the windows. All of these things are possible for your home and your business through a loan from us.
And that's a conversation that that is ongoing at GDB. It isn't specific to any time of the year. It is ongoing.
It's not specific to any time of year whatsoever. It is what we are here for. Our products exist. Yes, sometimes we'll offer you specials, or we will offer this interest rate, or probably the percentage off from bank charges, as how we're offering that now for renewable energy and energy efficiency. We're offering you 75% off bank charges for renewable energy, and the interest rate is very low at this time. Yes, so it is 4.5%. So you can get that for renewable energy until August. But it doesn't mean that after August, the loan will not be available. The loan will still be available. Probably not with 75% of bank fees. We'll have to see what happens when August comes. But these things are available throughout, all the time, at our institution. So it's just you need to know when is the right time for you, which a lot of the times it never is, Joe. There's nothing as the right time.
There's never the right time until you're forced to do it, and then it becomes the only time when it becomes a headache. But let me ask. Let me ask you though, because persons always you give them information, but they find themselves in a quandary because there's so much. There's information outside of there. There's information outside of there. But I know you want to have a conversation. I'm trying to remember the exact term. But it's a sort of audit that you do. So I want to go green. I want to go solar. I want to go renewable, that direction. But I'm really not quite sure exactly how do I start the conversation. What, in terms of how much energy do I normally need? If I need to get a solar panel, what do I need to do? There's an audit. I think you and I had a conversation some time ago that we spoke about.
It's an energy audit. We do not do it. And when I say we, I'm in the bank. We do not do it, but there are people in Grenada who can conduct an audit for you. So that person, let's call him the auditor.
Right, okay.
It is an audit.
For the purpose of the conversation today. Yes.
So the energy auditor will come into your home institution. He will look at maybe your pipes or your electricity, yes. And I said pipes, but for some reason I was thinking about water. There's also water auditors.
Right, okay.
Right. So he will look at your door construction, because you can lose energy from a room based on the height of your door. Sometimes, there is this little space right at the bottom of your door. So sometimes if there's a room with AC, you can sit through there. And that's what we're looking at, insulation and cooling. So sometimes it's cooling, or sometimes it probably heat or cold, depending on what you use the room for. A good example of that would be the doors that are left open. So if you notice, when you visit the supermarkets are cold, AC, fridges, whatever.
Right.
And they have installed that automatic door.
Sliding doors.
Right. So it opens and closes. It's sensor. If you stand too close to that door and you're not going in or you're not going out, then the door opens and it remains open. What happens there? Energy is sipped through that door because it's no longer closed. There's no barrier. The door acts as a barrier for the outside, which is hot, inside, which is cold.
Right.
Yes, so that in itself is a very good example of, I would call it building insulation, for the purpose of knowing that you're keeping that particular temperature just where you want it to be.
And it's an important conversation, while it may not be as extensive. If you probably thinking, and most people probably don't, they're probably thinking, I just want to install a little AC for my room. But even in that conversation, you have to consider those specifics. Maybe the type of ceilings that you have. Do you have ventilated blocks? The doors, is air escaping? Because you might be trying to address one problem and not realizing that, hello, you.
You know, one of the very, very important things, again, quite small, that is easily missed. You install the AC in your bedroom. But you put the AC on in your bedroom and you're sitting in the living area and you left the door open because you want some AC in the living area. There are guilty people.
Oh yes.
You understand? So even that is one way that your energy is being consuming a lot of energy there, because the purpose of the AC is not for the living room.
And then they find themselves in a quandary because they get a bill at the end of the month that shows, well, hold on. And you start saying, but I thought they promised the AC was going to use less.
Because you do have inverted AC. You do have inverted AC. That would be, quote unquote, a green AC.
Right.
Less energy. But hello, you didn't use it the way it was supposed to be used.
And that's what is important. That's why we have these sort of conversations like these, to sensitize individuals.
Cost, right? Energy equal cost. You're paying for the amount of energy that you use. So if you use 10 watts, that's what you pay for.
It doesn't mean that you enjoy the luxury.
No, it doesn't. It could be that you forgot to switch off the transformer.
Right.
It could be that you went to work for 8 hours, or probably you worked a double shift and you left the AC on in your bedroom. It's just a little accident. You forgot to do that.
Oh, it probably just meant that you didn't realize that your door has this quarter-inch space in below it. So while you outside, you close the door, waiting for the room to cool down.
So it's simple little things. So that's why we need to be very conscious. Be conscious. Do you need an AC? Or do you need that size of AC? Do you need AC in that particular room? Do you need a centralized AC? Or do you need multiple AC units? That kind of thing. Do you need to look at the type of door instead of the door with the glass that is letting the sun come in? Do you need that double glass door? I don't know. I think there is a name for it. I'm not a technical. I'm not technical in that area, but there is actually one that helps you reduce the heat.
Right.
Yes. So that exists. I'm not sure of the name.
But you would agree with me, though, that conversation is one that homeowners should be engaging themselves in more and more.
Yes, of course, without a doubt. I would say there are instances where the panels and the solar water heater and whatnot, no two homes are the same.
Right.
So, Joe, you may find more advantages in using it. I'm not so sure how it would be for me. I mean, personally speaking, my light bill is $65.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You heard.
65 what?
65 EC dollars monthly. So I'm uncertain.
Is my mouth still open?
I know, I can see, and that's why I'm letting you have your moment and continuing. So because I'm saying that it's different for each individual, because my bill is $65, I am unsure as to how switching to solar water heater, solar panels, I don't know how it's going to help me.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to be beneficial, but what I can tell you is you need to look at your individual needs.
Looking at your individual needs, which is good, and while you sometimes you want to compare and contrast, that's where that audit comes in.
The planet also. So though we're looking at the pennies,
right,
we need to compare, we need to look at the planet. We are saving the planet. So though I'm saying, all right, should I be doing solar water heater and PV panels because my bill is $65? I'm also thinking, but hell, isn't it the cleaner way to go?
There are options.
Exactly. There are a lot of options. I know of someone, a very good friend of mine. She has a water heater that works with gas.
Okay.
It is gas, the same gas that you're using to cook. It's the same gas her water heater works with.
Right.
Yes. So all of these things, but then again, there's another argument with gas. So at the end of the day, we need to look at what is best for me. And what I can say is that the renewable avenue and the energy saving avenue, it saves. You probably may not see it in a month.
It's an investment.
2 months, but it is an investment that will help you be a healthier you, help our community be a healthier community, help the world be a healthier world, and give us a little bit more money in the pocket at the end of the month. Probably buy some KFC or cashew nuts, whatever rocks your boat. Just saying.
KFC?
Yeah.
You said that, right? You said KFC.
I did say that I'm under the weather.
Okay, yeah, you did actually say that initially, because I know you're not necessarily a KFC. I know you're you're a smoothie girl. I didn't realize you're like my girl into KFC. No, I didn't.
But at the end of the day, whatever rocks your boat, you can you can say, listen, I have done this. I have invested in renewable energy and energy efficiency.
Let me treat myself.
I have helped with saving my planet, getting cleaner air to breathe, and I've saved some money. I'm going to celebrate. So you know what I'm going to do?
Kill 2 birds.
Some KFC.
You don't kill 2 chickens.
Ice cream. Some pizza. I'm gonna have myself a good time because I have made one step towards a cleaner environment, a sustainable economy.
Talk about sustainable, and that is true. Every now and again, we need to literally pamper ourselves, But of course, in order to do that, you have to keep yourself in the know, keep yourself informed. And I wonder why we talk about keep ourselves about renewable energy. I know Chris is waiting, and I'm probably hoping when I go, I'm probably going to find out from him what is it that they have down there. I know they have all these new lighting fixtures and all of those sort of things.
They probably have some LED lights,
right?
Or we have some inverted ACs. All of these things right up the alley. Hello, Chris. Oh, there he is. Hi, Chris. Is Chris on TV yet, Joe?
No. Chris is probably just there admiring you in the interim.
He's just smiling.
Yeah, I know. That's what's happening there. And he's probably saying, do you imagine I had to leave smiling at Chriselle and go and talk to Joe? Chris, the sentiments is mutual. Anyway, Chris, have yourself a good one, my dear. Enjoy the weekend and keep doing what you do at GDB.
I will.
Transforming our lives one loan at a time.
One loan at a time. Development through financing.
Development through financing. Have yourself a great one. Enjoy the rest of it.
Bye. Bye, Chris.
25 minutes gone past onto the hour. We take a very quick commercial break, Master Control. A 30-second break, and we come right back and we link up with Chris and the rest of the team inside of the Wireman's house.
Careless or intentional bushfires dead out. Youths, hunters, smokers, let's prevent bushfires. Here's why.
Yeah, bushfires. The shoreline's wet, crops should be bushfires. Can lead to food scarcity, threatened biodiversity, cause water shortage, water calamity. Bushfires, watersheds deplete, water quality, threaten property, life and security. Bushfires set intentionally, water insanity.
Bushfires can cost millions in losses annually and are often caused by careless or intentional actions indictable under the law. Forests are life-giving. Save them. A message from the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Caribbean Open Trade Support.
We're going to get ready to join Chris and Lady Duncan and the rest of the team inside of the Wireman's house. Good morning to you, those of you that's just rejoining us or probably joining us for the first time on GBN's television or radio platform or via the World Wide Web at www.gbn.gd, our Facebook channel or YouTube, our Facebook page or YouTube channel. Indeed, it's a pleasure being with you. Good morning. And the last of my guests for today is inside of the Wireman's house, where we have Chris and Lady Salandi. No, what's Chris and Lady Duncan waiting in the wings. There was a request that was made by Chriselle. I'm not sure if Chris is going to be able to accede to it, but we'll see how that happens. So, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Lady Duncan. How are you guys doing?
Good morning. Good. We're pretty good. Pretty good. How are you doing today, Joe?
I am wonderful. I feel a bit cranky. You know, some days you feel cranky.
Because I know how you're feeling, because I get up this morning, and I'm feeling a little bit different than usual.
Yeah, that's with me. So I was telling Chriselle I popped 2 Panadol multi-symptoms. You know, I just
It's just something is not going on, and I said to myself, you know what? Today is going to be a very long and interesting day.
Well, it's just one of those days. My days are now dictated. It's not dictated by my environment, but it's dictated by what I put into it. And I'm going to give it a full dose of JC. So it doesn't. I'm not sure what's going on in there, but that's going to sort itself out.
Because it's Friday, so we have to make. You gotta say cheers to the weekend.
Cheers to the weekend, but before we say cheers to the weekend, we have to say a whole lot of things that is inside of the Wireman's house that is not cheers, though.
No, not.
You have electronics and other stuff, not cheers.
No, not cheers, but we have stuff on the table, though.
You've got stuff on the table. Again, folks, welcome. For those of you that's joining us, I'm Christopher, Salandi, and Lady Duncan inside of the Wireman's house. What are we smiling? What's the great news today? Because there's always great and exciting news when it comes to the Wireman's house.
Yeah, so Joe, it's always a pleasure to inform the general public as to some of the items that is available here at the Wireman's house. And people has been calling us a lot and asking us about copper pipes and fitting. So we think it's fit this week to promote our copper pipes and accessories. So we're not going to waste any more time. We're just going to go straight into the program.
Copper pipes, fittings. What's available, Chris?
Fittings, yes. All right. So let's get right into it. Okay, so as you can see on the table here, Joe, right? So we have all the different types of the copper pipes accessories, right? So we have 2 types, right? So we have the US and also the UK.
Okay.
Right? So yes, on the UK, right? The difference is basically the measurement, okay? Because some the American, it's bigger than the UK.
Okay.
Yeah. So it wouldn't fit. So if you have your pipes, you already have your pipes, and you're looking to get the fittings, the elbows and stuff, you have to make sure that you get the right one. Yeah, because one might be a little bigger, one might be a little smaller. Okay, so you have to make sure you get the right size.
But the consolation though is that you carry both sizes.
Yes, you carry both types.
Right, good.
Yes.
So both the US and the UK. Okay, good.
Yes. All right. So we're starting with the US ones. Okay. So we have the Union. As you can see here, this is the 1/2 inch and also the 3/4 copper union. Okay, that's the union. And also we're moving on to the couplings. All right, so this is the American copper fittings here, as you can see. And also, we also can't forget the listeners as well. You know, those guys are locked on. Okay, so we also have the 45 degrees bend, copper bend, and also the 20 mm as well.
So, is it safe to say that at the Wireman's house, you carry all of the fittings needed, all of the copper fittings that you would need?
Yeah, you can say so, because we have the basic, the union, the coupling, the elbows, the T's, the reducers.
Right.
You know, we have all these fittings that you will basically need on a day-to-day basis for your couples.
So anything.
So we also have the reducers as well, right? So mention the reducers. So we have the reducers, we have the male and female adapters. Okay, as you can see here, male and female adapters, and also we have the T's. We have it as well in the 3/4 and the 1/2 inch as well. So guys, so if you're looking for all your American copper fittings, okay, we have that available at the Wireman's house. And also if you're looking for the pipes as well, we have that here also. So guys, you know, we always saying the Wireman's house is a place to shop, right? It's a one-stop shop. A lot of people saying, you know what, they go everywhere else, right, and looking for items and they can't get it, and they come here last and they get it, and it's so upset with itself. And the first thing I'm saying, I passed here right here this morning, you know.
Well, that's what we have programs of this nature to let them avoid the inconvenience and just make it a one-stop shop. Go straight to the Wireman's house.
Straight to the Wireman's house. Right, so Joe, so we're moving on to the UK stuff as well.
And for those of you that's probably just joining us, where we are, those of you, especially those of you on television, on radio, that is, we talk about copper plumbing and fittings, and we're here with Chris from the Wireman's house. Yeah, Chris. So we were talking about the US measurements. Now we go into the UK ones.
Yes, we're going to the UK ones right now.
Right. So right before me, Joe, we have the UK copper fittings here, and as you can, it's a bit shinier than the American type, and it also have the soldering inside, right? So basically, what comes in the US, we have it in the UK, but the dimension is a bit different.
Right.
You know, the look and everything. Yes. So you have the couplings, the T's, the stop ends, the reducers. We have them available here at the Wireman's house. So for those of you who are looking for your UK copper fittings, pipe, accessories, we have them available right here at the Wireman's house. Very affordable.
Yes, and also Joe, you know, you guys was talking about your AC units and stuff, right? So if you're looking for your copper tubing, right, to run your AC lines, okay, so we have that available as well. Yeah, so it comes in the size of 60 feet and also 60 feet as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so guys, so all your AC guys, right, if you're looking for your tubing, right, we have that available right here at the Wireman's house.
It is safe to say that you carry every and anything you need for plumbing, electrical, maintenance work, minor repairs, major repairs, anything along those lines.
Yes, definitely. You know, and also we also have the pipe as well. Okay, so guys, if you run short on your pipe, you know, just come to the Wireman's house, you know, and you hook you up with that. You know, and also Joe, we also have the copper brushes, right? If you wanna clean your pipes or your accessories, you know, the fittings and stuff, right? So we have the copper brushes, right? As you can see here, right? So you have different types and different sizes. Yeah, as you can see here. So guys, if you're looking for all your accessories for your copper fittings, your pipes, we have that right here available at the Wireman's house. And also guys, not forgetting, Joe, we have our flux. Yeah, we have our flux here. We have our different types of flux. So guys, if you're looking for your flux, you need to come to the Wireman's house today, Joe. Right, Joe. I know you used to do AC in school. Are you still doing it?
You wonder if I still do AC or if I still going to school? Which one?
If you're still doing AC.
Oh.
Yeah, so somebody told me you used to study AC in school, so so I want to know if you're still doing it.
Maybe the only AC I know right now is the A and the C on the alphabet, Chachi.
The A and the C on alphabet. Okay, well, I'll give you that one.
But just to remind you folks, it doesn't matter what it is you're looking for. And Chris, and I think that's one of the things that you pride yourself on saying, that whether or not you're into maintenance, you're electrician, a major contractor, you whether you're just doing minor repairs, simple repairs, it doesn't matter what phase in the project you're on, whether or not you're in the starting phase, middle phase, the Wireman's house provides everything. Plumbing, electrical, just literally anything you need for a project. You guys cover that.
Yeah, definitely.
And not forgetting, Joe, we do our custom orders, so just in case, you might need something for your project, we can source it once you don't have it in here. So just, guys, keep that in mind. Custom orders, we have that here available at the Wireman's house also.
And that custom ordering, that's a relatively simple process, isn't it?
Very simple. You come into the Wireman's house, you talk to the relevant person who is in charge of procurement. They sit you down, they go through the catalog, contact the supplier. Once the supplier have what you're asking for, they go through, you pay a deposit of 50% discount, 50% deposit, right? And then from there on going forward, when it gets here, we just call you and you collect this.
If you failure to do same would result in what?
Sorry, can you repeat?
So if I did a custom order, I paid on my 50%, and for some reason when the item gets here, I decide, you know what, I don't think I want it again. What happens?
Well, in regards to that is why you bring your necessary information, you look at it, you contact the supplier, because if at that point, Joe, that will be on your end, because you are the one who bring and you look at the custom order catalog and you choose it. So at that point, you are the one who will be in the fault. But there's always a way to go around things. You know? So I think much it would not be that hard to reconcile.
And it's going to be almost difficult because, of course, at the Wireman's house, you have in-house expertise. And even if the expertise is not available in-house, Chris, you would put them onto the relevant person, whether or not it's the plumber, the electrician, whoever it is, the expert, to make that final assessment. So you say, listen, this is exactly what you need. You don't just leave the customer to go on their own and just make a purchase of an item.
Actually, Joe, even so we don't have a particular item here, right? We know that you can get it locally. We will actually go to the extra mile, and make some calls, right, to different people to see if we can get it for you, right? And definitely, that is something we always do. We try to go that extra mile to make sure the customers, right, get the item they're looking for, right? It doesn't matter if we have it or not, right? We will still make sure that they get what they want. Yeah, as I said, we'll call different places, right, to source it, to make sure that they have it as well. So what, we can say, hey, so and so have it down the road, right? You can go there. They're expecting you, Okay, so you can go ahead, right? So we go that extra mile. You know, it's always good to our customers come to the Wireman's house, right, and leave happy.
Talking about the customer service experience, and that is what you do. You go over and above to make sure that that your client is happy, and you pride yourself on that. So there is the custom ordering, but there are some other auxiliary services that you offer as well, don't you? Can we talk about it? I know you do delivery within St. George. You do credit facilities, providing that the customer qualifies for it. Can we talk about some of those other services that you offer that you offer to clients?
Yeah, well, as I said, you said basically everything there, right? So we have the credit facilities, we have the delivery service within St. George's, right? That is going pretty well. You know, we always ask our customers, you know, to feel free to use these different avenues, as well, you know, for quotes and stuff, you know, that is pretty good. On social media, on WhatsApp, Facebook. You know, if you're looking for your quotes, all right, you could always send that via WhatsApp, also Instagram. You know, we have a large range of different avenues to make life a lot easier for our customers. You know, sometimes you might want a quote, you know, you're calling the phone, you know, somebody's on the line with a customer, right? And you want to get onto us, you know, as I said, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. So we try to make everything available for our customers. You know, Joanne, also coming, as I mentioned, Facebook and Instagram, right? That's a good time to talk about our Facebook and Instagram promotion.
Let's talk about that.
Yes. All right, guys. So this is our Facebook and Instagram promotion, right? This is our second week. It's a weekly promotion, right? So basically, all you have to do is actually go onto our Facebook or Instagram page, like and share the page. Okay. Now we will be posting up a particular item, the item of the week.
Okay.
Now that item have a item number on it, Joe.
Okay.
So if you go on the Wireman's Instagram page or Facebook page, you will actually see that item. Okay, you will see the item number on. All you have to do, if you are interested in that item, all you have to do is take that number, come to the Wireman's house, and you can get 10% off.
Simple like that.
Item. Simple that. All you have to do is like and share.
So I go to your Facebook, I go to your Instagram page, I get the product, I like it and I share it. There's an item number. Take that item number, and I come to the Wireman's house, and just like that, I get the associated discount that's been applied to the product.
Yep.
Well, Chriselle coming to read the news, and she's smiling because she says she have a big project she have to do. She had to run going back in St. Vincent, run some more pipe for them over there. So she will buy some stuff.
I'm pretty good, and we have pipes available.
You right, so well, it's pipes you want. anyway. And almost, I was also put this in, but at the last minute I just realized that I was just going to just sing so wrong. Chris, we got to run up, but tell me, so there's the Instagram promotion, but how can the general public reach you?
All right, so they can reach us on 443-5577 or 449-5577. If you want to get any more information on the Facebook and Instagram promotion, you know, you can give us a call. Right, and also we have the email address. The email address, is the wireman'shouse@gmail.com.
It's wireman'shouse@gmail.com. There, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube. Find them wherever they are. They're on the Woodlands Main Road. You can't miss them. Either direction you go in, once you get to Classcoat Bay Marina, you know you're either going away or you're going to the Wireman's house. So if you stop, once you get to the Classcoat Bay Marina, you need to stop. Start slowing down, because depending on which direction you're going, if you're going towards Grandlands Valley and you've passed the Classcoat Bay, it means you've passed the Wireman's house. If you're going towards Woodlands and you get to Clark's Court Bay, it means you're right. You are almost approaching the Wireman. So it's either way. Clark's Court Bay Marina, it is your mark. Green, two-story building on the Woodlands Main Road. You certainly can't miss it when you go there. And again, all the necessary protocols, COVID-wise, it's been employed.
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
Sanitizing of hand, wearing of mask. It's all about being safe.
All about keeping safe. I hope you too continue to keep safe. Have yourself a great weekend. Be good, and the good Lord's willing, He spares our lives. You will do this next week again, all over again.
Definitely.
Great. It is just about 4 minutes on to the hour of 12 o'clock, reminding you on radio at the top of the hour is going to be the midday edition, a production of our news and current affairs department. For those of you that is on television, well, I'm getting ready to say goodbye to you. I send you back to Master Control for your regular programming. But the midday edition comes up in just under 3 minutes. That's our listeners. That's here on Classic 105.5 and 105.9 on the FM band. It's my time to say goodbye to you. It's been a pleasure being here with you. Peace and love. JC loves you. We make way for the midday edition, a production of our news and current affairs department, and will be presented by Christina John. So long. JC loves you. I'm out of here.